This is the Mets Postcast, your instant game reaction for the New York Mets. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
David Peterson was absolutely brilliant tonight. A 6-hit complete game shutout, extending the Mets winning streak to 5 games as they take the second of this series with the Washington Nationals by a final score of 5-0. Welcome in to the Mets Postcast here on the Locked On Mets YouTube channel, the Locked On Mets podcast feed. Your Postcast host, Chris Schubert, here with you after each and every Mets game throughout the course of the season, and what a special one this one was tonight. We don't need to waste any time. I'll play the fancy graphic. You know what we're going to be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
A David Peterson masterclass. He has been the most reliable, the most consistent starting pitcher for this team dating back to when he returned to the starting rotation last year, and he put it all together on display tonight, just cruising to a 6-hit complete game shutout. The first complete game the Mets have had since Luis Severino did it last year for them. It was easily the best start of David Peterson's career. He was trending towards throwing a Maddox, a complete game shutout with under 100 pitches. He was trending towards that until hit a little bit of a bumper in the road there in the 7th, but absolutely dominant. And he was dominant in the way we know him to be dominant, attacking the strike zone, not being afraid to pitch to contact, trusting the guys behind him, and playing to his strengths, which are ground balls. And that is exactly what he did tonight. Let's try to get the final numbers here on how many ground balls he got. 13 ground balls for Peterson over the complete game. He was just brilliant tonight. Settled in super early, was in it from the word go, and it was just, you don't get nights like this very often in baseball. We don't get to see pitchers at their absolute best throw for 9 innings. I know somebody else in baseball did it earlier today. We won't mention who and what team it was for, but you don't see this on a regular basis. And you could tell how much it meant to Petey. You can tell how much it meant to this entire team, the emotion that all of them showed, the excitement that all of them showed. You understood the fans knew what was going on and how important it was. And clearly, based on the reception from all of you in the live YouTube chat, you understood what this meant. You don't see games like this very often, and you couldn't have picked a better person for it to happen to for David Peterson. And no, this isn't a no-hitter or a perfect game, but in today's game, it feels just as similar. You don't see pitchers take the ball and throw 9 innings the way Petey did tonight, and was just absolutely exquisite. Got some help from his defense behind him. Shout out Tyrone Taylor for a great play. When it's your night, it's your night, and the Mets do the little things really well, and they did it again tonight. Tyrone Taylor with an absolute money throw to nail the runner at home plate. Shout out to Luis Torrens with a excellent tag to make sure that he got the tag in time. Held on to the baseball, lost it on the transfer. Replay, make sure we got no problems there. And just, you can't help but just be super excited for David Peterson to have this moment, to have this night. And these are one of those games, when you look back on a season, good, bad, or indifferent, however it ends, you'll remember a start like this. You'll remember where you were sitting down watching this game. And you could kind of tell Petey was feeling it, not just because of this start, but the way he had been pitching as of late. The confidence has been at another level. We've seen it the last couple times out against the Dodgers, that moment striking out Ohtani when he needed to go length for this team, when they didn't have their bullpen available because of the extra inning game the night prior. He knew the pressure that was on him. He delivered in that moment. And with no pressure on him tonight, just goes out there and dominates the Washington Nationals lineup. Did a great job of mixing up speeds. And again, I just want to emphasize this point because I think it's an important one to hammer home. This is what makes David Peterson great. This is what makes him, I've referred to him as the ace of this staff. What makes him the ace, what makes him this great, is when he commits to who he is as a pitcher. He doesn't try to blow 95, 96, 97 by guys. That's not who he is. What he is as a pitcher is a command pitcher who's got a great slider and throws strikes and gets ground balls. And the moment that he committed to that, coming back from that injury a year ago, he has been a different pitcher. I'll say it again. He has been the ace of this staff. Just absolute brilliance, masterclass, excellence, whatever word you want to use, David Peterson delivered it tonight. A complete game shutout, only the 6 hits, didn't walk anybody. I mean, that's incredible in and of itself to go a complete game and not walk anybody. Had the command, had the feel for that slider, threw the fastball in for strikes, and again, just committed to who he was and didn't waver. And in the early stages of the game, didn't have any real trouble. I know the final line says the 6 hits. A lot of that happened in there late. He just kind of scattered the hits over the first couple of innings, a 2-out hit here, a leadoff hit here that he worked around, and just never felt like he was in trouble, never felt like he was not in control, just was out there and dominant. Ray says carried 9 innings on his back, gamer. Yeah, I mean, just a guy who's a bulldog, just will take the ball every 5th or 6th day for this team, and you know what you're going to get. And he has been really good over the last couple of starts, been really good dating back to last year for this team. I mean, you can add this to the list, right? That Milwaukee game at the end of the season on Sunday where they needed a win to force the doubleheader against the Braves to matter for them. What he did in the postseason coming in as a reliever, as a pseudo closer. And now you can add this. I would even put that Dodger start from a couple of weekends ago on the list. But you put this near the top, if not at the top. A complete game shutout for David Peterson. Moves to 5-2 on the year. Lowers that ERA to 2.49. And again, he is the ace of this staff. The offense also had a great day. Obviously wanted to make the open about David Peterson and the greatness that he showed us tonight. We'll talk about the power party continuing for New York, Juan Soto continuing to be great, and the other stuff that we are keeping an eye on coming out of this game. But we will get to all of that and your thoughts here on the other side. You ever check your bank account and wonder, man, where did all of my money go? Well, between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it is easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. This is not just a standard budgeting app. This is a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. You stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. Instead of trying to juggle multiple apps, you got stuff here, stuff there. My investments are in this app. My bank accounts, I'm looking at them in this app. Monarch's got it all covered for you in one place. You can check your finances, track your spending, and even plan those long-term goals. Perhaps you need to manage money with a partner. Smoother than ever with Monarch Money. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances today with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. They've got an easy-to-use website packed with helpful resources, the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, they've got a complete inventory, over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands. You'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Perhaps you need some help with an order. Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service. You're always going to talk to a real person. And for those trade pros out there looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks, dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every single order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use the promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Back here on the Mets Postcast, Locked On Mets YouTube channel, Locked On Mets podcast feed. Excuse me, speaking too fast here. Super excited, celebrating a huge moment. Chris Schubert with you as the Mets defeat the Washington Nationals by a final score of 5-0. And I'll be honest with you, it's games like this, it's nights like this, moments like this that I get a little extra amped up to do these shows with all of you and for all of you. It's a little extra juice when you see something special. You see something that you just don't see every single day. David Peterson was brilliant tonight. The Mets power party was also brilliant. How about a bunch of home runs? And how about Juan Soto hitting a home run? How about a pair of home runs from Brandon Nimmo? How about Pete Alonso continuing to have a hot bat? The power party has just been the story for this team over the last 2 weeks or so. They have just found it in terms of hitting home runs. Soto has gotten hot with the long ball. Nimmo certainly has gotten hot with the long ball. The team is just starting to leave the yard at a clip that they were not doing so in the first part of the season. And you're seeing the dividends. They're able to just get up on a team early and then just lean on them. And it got started early in the first inning. It was Pete Alonso with a muscle double to the deepest part of the ballpark that got the Mets on the board. Juan Soto, 408-foot shot to right center field. That made it 3-0. And then a pair of solo shots for Brandon Nimmo, bringing his season total up to 12 here on the season. Soto's homer, his 13th. And I originally, when Petey was just kind of cruising and we saw how the game was trending, the storyline was going to be Petey great, offense really good. But I was going to say, this is how you draw it up if you're a Mets fan. You get great starting pitching, and you get the offense from the guys you expect. Nimmo, Lindor, Alonso, Soto. Those are the guys that you expect to contribute a lot of where your runs are going to come from. It was a perfect night. That was before Petey went out and did what he did. That was almost a cherry on top. I mean, start to finish, this is exactly how you draw it up if you're a Mets fan. The great starting pitching that they have seemingly got every single night out. Soto, Alonso, Nimmo providing the power, providing the RBIs, and the Mets just finding a way to just win baseball games. And tonight, it was on the backs of David Peterson, Juan Soto, and Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor, just all being great. These guys were just excellent tonight in so many different ways for this squad. Let's just go through some of the box score numbers here for you. Soto with a multi-hit game, Nimmo with a multi-hit game. Those guys each had a pair of RBIs. We mentioned Nimmo's 2 home runs. Didn't get a lot of production. 0 production from the bottom part of the lineup. We'll file that away on the stuff to keep an eye on thing. Jared Young, 0 for 3 is the DH. Luis Torrens, 0 for 4. Brett Beatty, 0 for 3, did draw a walk. Mauricio, 0 for 2. So the production from the bottom part of the lineup that had been there over the last couple of days, specifically in that Colorado series, not there tonight. Do you worry about it? No, not really. Potentially just a one-game blip. But we have this stuff to keep an eye on segment for a reason. We file that one away. Another thing to keep an eye on, how about that? How about a free day where you don't have to use your bullpen, right? You get everybody a little bit of extra rest. You had to use Edwin Diaz and Reed Garrett yesterday to hold on to get a win in extra innings. You got to have a day off for them built into the schedule, and now you can go all out tomorrow with Kodai Senga on the mound to try to secure the series sweep. Oh, by the way, the Mets have won 5 in a row. 3rd time this season that they have a winning streak of 5 games at least. Their previous 2 streaks, they had a 6-game winning streak and a 7-game winning streak at other points during the season. So already the 3rd time this year. And shout out to Michael Barron, who provided this stat on social media. The Mets have won 5 straight, 6 of their last 7, 10 of their last 12, 14 of their last 17. I mean, there's just no room for complaining right now with the way this team is playing. 20 games above 500. There's your new watermark for the season, 44-24. They moved to an astounding 26-7 at home. Who shouted it out in the live chat about Citi Field being awesome? Ray said the Citi Field vibe is a winning one. The crowd, once again, excellent tonight. Just the vibes are immaculate. The vibes are great. We thought the vibes were good in 2024 when this team made their run in the second half. I mean, the vibes are great right now, and they are just thriving as a team, and you can just tell that they are a collective and a close-knit group right now that are supporting one another, and you get a great performance tonight across the board, headlined by the job that David Peterson did. It's Kodai Senga going tomorrow for the New York Mets as they will look for the series sweep, and they will look to tie their second longest winning streak of the season by 6 games, and they're sending a pretty good guy to the mound to help get it done in Kodai Senga. And the Mets starting pitching, and I don't know if we think about this with Petey. I know I certainly did at the start when he came back. I've slowly faded, and I refer to him as the ace. I no longer get worried when he takes the mound. I get super amped up. In fact, when he takes the mound, it just feels like a win every time he goes out there. The pitching just continues to be an excellent story for this team. And they showed a graphic at one point of all the great numbers that the Mets have with their starting pitching. And the one thing that was lacking is the innings pitched per start. They're just not getting the length. That number is going to go up tonight thanks to David Peterson's complete game shutout. 6 hits scattered across the nine shutout innings for his first career complete game. And Petey has been grinding. A lot of thought of whether or not he could stay in this rotation. A lot of thought if he could ever reach the potential. A lot of thought if he was ever going to be able to harness the talent that he had, if he was going to be able to hone his craft, hone his command, to be able to put it together. I don't know if you expect this every night, but with the talent that he has, you knew nights like this were possible, and it was just absolutely fantastic to see it all come together tonight. Mentioned Tyrone Taylor's defense, but the defense was excellent once again. Ronnie Mauricio made a couple of nice plays. Beatty with a nice snag. Pete made a leaping play. Like Darling said here from Ray, Taylor could be in for just 2 innings and make an impact. The Mets have a bench where everybody can do that, right? You bring in Terrence in late for defense, he's going to be able to make a play for you. You move Beatty around, you bring Acuna in for speed or defense, they're going to be able to make a play. And Tyrone Taylor is a great example. I mean, the Mets just have, this isn't just the 9 starters that are out there. This isn't just the starting pitcher on the mound and 1 or 2 relievers. This right now, this team being 44-24, being 26-7 at home, having a 5-game lead in the NL East, being one of the best teams in all of baseball is not just a 26-man effort. It is a 28, 29, 30, 31, a 40-man effort. The Mets have a just fantastically put together roster right now that is just getting it done. And tonight, smiles all across the board for the job that David Peterson did. So that's where we will leave it. We'll have David Peterson be the final thought in this one. A complete game shutout for David Peterson, lowers his ERA to a just majestic 2.49. And something that doesn't happen very often in baseball happened tonight. It happened to somebody that I think we all have fun rooting for in David Peterson, and we want to see him have more nights like this. Just absolute brilliance tonight from David Peterson, and the Mets just keep on rolling. We have said many times, keep the good times rolling. Boy, not just good times tonight, great times for the New York Mets. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow of the Washington Nationals. They will look to make it 6 in a row. Programming note, we will not be here to break it all down. So we're taking a quick little timeout. We got the day job working tomorrow. So we'll not be here during the postcast. The next time you'll hear from me will be after the first game of the Tampa Bay Rays series. So hopefully Ryan will have you covered tomorrow here on the Locked On Mets YouTube channel. If not, I'll have you covered in the Locked On Mets podcast feed. So no show for me tomorrow. Back at it again at the start of this Tampa series on Friday. But celebrate it, Mets fans. Enjoy it. Have a smile on your face. You watch some brilliance tonight. You watch something that we don't get to see very often. So have that smile on your face. Enjoy that you've got a baseball team right now that's 20 games above 500, is one of the best teams in baseball, the best team in the National League, and just absolutely brilliant. So I say it at the end of every postcast, but it just means, and it just hits a little bit different tonight. Have a good one, Mets fans.